Anchor families, this is Miss Dawn, once again coming to you from home with our virtual learning. I want to switch gears off of food and move on to transportation. So transportation is something that you would use to get from one place to another. For example, if I am leaving my home here to go to Anchor to work with all of you, I would take my car. I would go into my garage, get my car, and drive there. If I didn't have a car, and sometimes I've done this before too to get back and forth to work, I could use a bus. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with seeing the city buses around town, or maybe you have taken one yourself to get from one place to another as a form of transportation. That's what we're going to move on to for the rest of this month of May, is talking about different ways of transportation. But before I get started with that, I have not a student shout out, but a mom shout out. This is a picture of my daughter, Zara. She has wanted to be a pilot since she was 4 years old, and here she was actually able to fly a plane for the first time after taking her ground flight transportation course and got to go up in the air. So that's just my proud shout out as a mom to my daughter, Zara, for flying an airplane, which is a mode of transportation. So let's get started. For you this week, and remember all of these will be down in the description boxes below, I have a modes of transportation video for you, and this goes over modes of transportation that are on the ground. So that would be cars, bikes, anything that's on the ground. We also have water, so I'm sure some of you may have been to the water before, and those are things like ships, boats, kayaks, and you'll see a few other fun ones on there too. And air, so air, like my daughter Zara, was flying the airplane, and there's other ways to get around in the air as a mode of transportation. I hope you enjoy all of those. And I also have a yoga segment, so this one is a shorter segment than I've posted before. This is airplane pose though, obviously very applicable to what we are doing today. We also are continuing with the days of the week, like we would do calendar during circle time. So there's a days of the week song. We also have a Phonics Song, still going over the letters and the various sounds that they make. And remember, some of those letters make different sounds depending on where they are in the word. And going over weather. On Thursday when we have our Zoom session, just like we did last week, we'll go over the weather, take your observations. What does it look like to you? Is it sunny, cloudy, rainy? And then we'll mark those down on our weather sheet, and we'll also go over what the temperature is. Okay, and then the happy numbers, which you've been able to do. I'm so happy to see what your progress is there. And on Thursday, Miss Gina will be joining us along with Miss Jennifer to help us go over some of those transportation discussions. And we also have an audiobook that I'll be sharing with you about a train. That is another form of transportation, not as much used as this day as it was earlier. I've taken the train sometimes. I think it's a fun way just to sit back and relax and not have to worry about being on the road or in a plane, but I have not taken a train at all, actually, since I've lived here in Colorado. So anyway, those are what we're going over this week. So transportation, I hope you enjoy that. Also, I will be sending home some packets to all of you with some transportation related themes in there. And what some of that includes is building our own rocket ship with shapes. So I'm going to go over that with you now. I have a rectangle. I have 3 triangles. Here's the one. Here's 2 more. Okay, and then I have 3 circles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a glue stick, and I'm going to put them on here to create a rocket ship, because that is another form of transportation. Also, I thought this would be a great way for the Amazing Astronauts class, which is what we are this year, to finish out our last days of school. And a fun way to add in some shapes. So I'm just going to glue these random shapes on. These shapes will also be in the packet that I send home to you. Not necessarily the same colors, but you'll still be able to put a rocket ship together. And I've sent some extras home if you want to do more than one or share it with a brother or sister. So there's our rectangle on. Next, I'm going to glue on the large triangle, and that's going to be the top of my rocket ship that's blasting off into space. I'm going to glue that to the top of the rectangle. There you can see how I have it on the top, shooting off into space. Next, I'm going to do the circles for our little windows, I guess, of the spaceship as they can look out and observe the stars, planets, the sun, and moon. Keep in mind, this is just how I'm deciding to put together my rocket ship. You can use your shapes to assemble a rocket ship any way you would like. If you want to cut out some more shapes, would be fantastic. So we have the windows. I have 1, 2, 3 windows now on my rocket ship. Now I'm going to use those other triangles to put on for some stability. Potentially landing gear, I'm not sure. There's one, and maybe, hold on, 2. Okay, not bad. Here's my rocket ship blasting off into space. And you know, I think I'm gonna add in a moon and some stars. Color in the moon, kind of, and some stars. For this, I'm using a white crayon on my black background for it to show up well. But remember, at home, you can use whatever you have available. Because I am not going out to the store to get anything special. I just found some things that I had in my house. So there is my rocket ship with the moon, stars, blasting off into space. I hope you enjoyed that. So remember, I hope to see all of you on Thursday for our Zoom session. We have joining us Miss Erin and Miss Jennifer. We're going to be going over the train book, still discussing modes of transportation, so different ways that you can get from one place to another, and we're also going to make our weather check-in. Okay, miss you all. Hope you're well. Bye.